In our experience of the world, we are always in place, so every space is placed. So inevitably, every sense of space that I have in my paintings is derived from a place or a moment or experience. Hi, my name is Nam Duc Nguyen. I am a Canadian artist born in Edmonton, Alberta, but now I'm based in Berlin. I make abstract paintings that focuses on how my exploration of craft can affect the viewer. Sometimes it can be funny or humorous or lighthearted. I also make paintings that are often quite intensely involved processes to give the viewer a kind of depth and platform for contemplation and self-reflection. I'm really lucky that in my family, my dad's a poet, so I was kind of raised in an environment of creativity. My dad would read his poems to his friends, who are also, many of them, artists or poets, and the house would be covered in photographs, prints, paintings from his friends. Keep in mind, this is all in the Vietnamese modernist tradition. At a young age, I realized, especially through the poetry readings, that creativity or art could kind of shape the world or shape how other people experience the world, and that made me really excited to pursue it myself. Yeah, so I made this myself, and that way I can control different aspects of the materiality that you wouldn't be able to when you buy your own gesso from the store. Most commercial paints, unless you pay a lot of money, and even then it's no guarantee that you know what's in the paint. And then I also realized that the paintings that I had seen in the museums were pre-industrial. I mean, that's obvious, but somehow I just didn't make the connection. And so they had to make their own paint. Like, they couldn't buy it, so they literally had to grind their own paint. So I was like, okay, that's what I need to do. And somehow things became very clear for me. And from that, I was able to build up an abstract language. I think the average person really is not interested in doing this, mostly because it's like so much work. But I like to do it. It gives me a lot of control, but it makes me feel like I'm really cooking. The thing that I cook at home that I think is a metaphor most closely related to my artwork is soup, like a really good, rich soup where you have to cook the bones for hours and hours and hours to get that rich, deep flavor. Everything I do is trying to get that visual experience for the viewer, and I'll do anything to get it a little bit more rich, a little bit more flavorful. So when the viewer looks at my work, the effect of the color and the vibrancy and the reflectivity starts to reveal itself over time. You know, like, see, I'm putting it in this little squeeze tube here. It's kind of making some sauce, blue sauce. I am definitely trying to explore color as an extension of atmosphere and experiences of atmosphere. Oddly enough, you know, like working with materials and becoming even more abstract, it kind of returned to a sense of presence and a sense of like connection. I say oddly because it was counterintuitive to me at the time. You know, it's like, oh, I'll paint this line or I'll paint this dot that's this color, and it's just what it is. And that was more connective to the moment, and through that, I think, to other people. Being more abstract is able to like take the meaning and convey it to the viewer more directly, which was interesting, an interesting discovery. I'm having an exhibition coming up at the Art Gallery Grand Prairie in January. I believe the opening's on January 30th. It's a two-person exhibition with the artist Lionel Allingham. It's curated by Jessica Groome, and Jessica's concept for the show is part of a series where she brings historical artists in their collection and pairs it with a contemporary artist. So I'm really excited about it. The show is called A Second Horizon. It's named after one of my paintings. And the show explores how each artist responds to place, which is the Northern Alberta region. And it's our response to the sky and landscape of the region and how it informs our abstract paintings. It's stunning to see somebody that I don't know, I've never talked to, making abstract paintings from the 70s and 80s that are in dialogue with my own, whether I know it or not. We both explore glazing, we both explore a kind of expansiveness, we both explore the colors pink and blue, which is a common feature of the sky there. You know, the sky magically changes just for maybe half an hour to this kind of like vibrant pink, which is oftentimes like magical and intense, and is kind of a marker of the beginning or end of the day. and it fades quite quickly, but you kind of have this splash of color that feels quite emotional in some way. It has infinite depth, it has infinite color, it changes all the time, it has all the qualities of a great painting.